how's everybody? Happy early full moon. Oh God, we already got a lot of people in here. We got a couple hundred people. As always, I'm gonna wait a couple minutes though for the chat to fill up and then we'll get into it. Guys, there's so much stuff. Is there so much stuff? Just a couple like really important things I want you guys to know about beyond the full moon. I know I'm already talking. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna give it a few minutes. Yeah, I've got like 4 pages of notes. Like it's a lot. It's a lot. My first time being on time. From Toronto, Canada. Oh, hey, Canada. Let's see. I'm in the live. Aloha. Aloha. God, I can't believe I was just there. Like not that long ago. Feels weird. Finally made it to a live. So glad I found this place. I know I got a lot of newbies. I know I have a lot of new waivers here. So hello, new waivers. So I had a talk with a friend today. Since we got a couple minutes, let's just chit chat. I had a talk with a friend today, another light worker actually, about that. Like, I know I'm not the greatest at like talking in basic terms. So I apologize for my new waivers who are on my channel, who've subscribed. Thank you for subscribing and checking me out. I really do hope I can help you. I think I need to like, I don't know. I need to figure out a way to cater to like the new waivers and people who've been around for a while. Why does it start when you're in the middle of a conversation? Huh? A thorough light worker. I'm sorry. I don't know what you mean. There's been a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, there's been a lot. Holy shit, there's been a lot. It's funny too, because I've noticed like, well, within the same conversation I had with my friend today, I brought up like entitlement. I'm like, is it just me or do people seem even more entitled than usual? Like, I was like, I know I'm a Cancer rising, so I know I'm already feeling the full moon and the emotional shit. Like, I know I already am. And I was like, but is it just me? And it's so funny we talked about that. And then I went over all the aspects of the full moon and I was like, oh, this is making sense. Oh, okay. Let's see. Yeah, it does that on my end as well. It does? Oh, that's so weird. I usually like start talking when it says you're live. So, you know, it's a YouTube problem. It's a YouTube problem. Let's see. What do we got here? Oh, we have some people. Okay, I see what's going on. Oh man, it's too many people to catch. Let's see. Anyway, guys, so the entitlement's high right now. Don't be shocked. I'll explain why. I'll explain why. And if you see entitled people in here, because you know they like to say stuff when entitled energy is at play. Hey, Empress of Duality. Everyone say hi to Brooke. Hey, Brooke. I can't catch all the entitled people. The chat moves too fast. I'm sorry. I got my drink ready. Oh, I love that. I love that. Let's see what else we got here. How are you? I'm good. I'm good. It's so funny. Every time I'm about to do one of these new moon or full moon lives, I get like super charged with energy like the hour before. So I've just been trying to like ground myself so I don't affect the internet or anything like that. I think it's just because you guys are aware I'm coming on. So it's like I just feel all that energy come through really strong. Let's see. I love your readings. I've been feeling that way lately. Not so much entitled, but I'm seeing my worth. Oh, a temperance. I like that. Let's see. Yes, lots of energy. I feel tired as fuck. Oh, that's also a big thing with this full moon. Where are we at? Oh my God, we're already over at like 3 minutes. That went so fast. That went really, really fast. Okay, guys, like I said, there's a lot of notes. I've been surging energy, so I'm going to try to like just focus on the notes and what I got to tell you guys. Oh, Allie's here. Hey, Allie, God, the chat's moving so fast. I know there's a lot of people in here. There's a lot. Sorry. I know. I was even saying, like, I can't catch all the comments that need to be hidden anyway because it's moving so quickly. And I don't expect them all to be caught, by the way. So everyone's ahead of my mods. Thanks for coming out. Emily Ray, thank you for the $9.99. I'm loving your new vibe. Thank you for helping us navigate through these energies. Hell yeah. Guys, I love doing these videos. Like, I really love doing these videos. Actually, I will address something before we get started. So like I said, I know I've got a lot of new people on, and some of you are not aware that I'm no longer doing like the tarot card readings by sign. I'm no longer doing that. Like I'm doing the birthday readings. I'm doing the crystal monthlies. I'm doing energy shift readings. I even do collective channelings. Like I had a little channeling this morning. So it's not like I'm not doing tarot. I'm just not doing it by the sign in the way that I did before. The channel's taking on a really cool direction. Nicole, thank you for the $5. Cancer Sun, Scorpio Rising, Leo Moon, feeling this energy in this new decade. Oh, I love that. And you're a Cancer Sun, so okay, that's good. I'm a Cancer Rising. This full moon's killing me already. So yeah, some people are not aware that I'm not doing that anymore. So I just want to announce it for those who are not aware. But I'm bringing a lot of new stuff to the channel. The first new thing is a series actually. So I'm really excited really excited for that. And you're going to see the first episode in the next few days. But anyway, so let's get started, guys. Let's get started. So like I said, I don't want to get distracted. So if I miss your chat, I am so sorry. Oh no, did I already miss one? Oh, Rachel, thank you for the $5. Thank you. I'm so sorry if I missed your super chats, but thank you. That was really sweet. If I miss your chats or your messages, I apologize in advance. I get very ADD, as you guys know, especially, what did I just click? Hold on. I accidentally just clicked something. Especially when I've been surging energy. Okay. But let's get into it. So before I even get into the eclipse energy, I actually want to talk about today. All right. So today there was an aspect that occurred. Jupiter went conjunct with the South Node, okay, and opposing the North Node. This is bringing in a lot of that. It's expanding patriarchal energy that we want to get away from. It's expanding domineering energy, entitled energy, tyrannical energies. You might be noticing that people are acting like that, okay? But people are acting like, you got to listen to me because I got something to say. And I want you to act accordingly. You know, very, very domineering and controlling. That energy is being expanded as of today, and that's building up into the full moon. And there's also aspects happening during the full moon that are getting locked in. So for those who are new, I try to go back to basics for my newbies. So for those who are new, every time we have a new moon or a full moon, all the aspects that are happening at that time kind of get locked in. Okay. And everything has a pre-shadow and post-shadow effect. Every transit has a time period leading up to it and a time period after it where we're feeling this energy. Ben, thank you for the $5. Oh, a male subscriber. I like when my male subscribers leave messages because, like, I know we got a lot of like women in the community, but it's nice when the men come out too. Sag Sun, Sag Moon, Libra Rising. Just coming from watching the Sag Patreon reading, and it was resonating pretty well. Thank you for all you do. Oh, thanks, Ben. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. That and Aries, like that took a lot of energy out of me today. Every time I do fire signs, it takes a lot of my energy. What was I say? ADD. I'm like, what was I talking about? Oh, the locking in for my newbies. Okay. So with normal moon cycles, it's like a month post shadow, I believe. It was like a month post shadow and maybe like a couple weeks pre shadow. With eclipses, it's a month pre shadow of feeling that energy before it hits, and then 6 months post shadow. Yeah, so it's really intense stuff, but just something to note, when these aspects happen, things get locked in, okay? All right, so let's talk with this a little bit. So just be aware that people are going to be throwing their weight around leading up to the full moon, and there are aspects happening during the full moon where people are going to be doing that even more, okay? So you're going to see a lot of bullying behavior, a lot. And I was already starting to see it in my comments. I was like, oh, this is kind of intense. I was like, something must be going on. And it started today, okay? So now let's get into the actual full moon eclipse energy. So like I said, eclipses post shadow is 6 months. Okay, so this is through June, not just this eclipse, but also the new moon Capricorn, because that was at the end of December, right? It doesn't mean that it's intense the whole time. It just means that it's at play for that time period, and it pitters out the further you get away from it. Okay, so just something to note. LPC Xbox. Thank you for the $2. Happy full rotation around the sun. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. So again, ADD. Yes. So it's at play for the next 6 months or so. Okay. Now this full moon is in Cancer. So what's Cancer known for? First of all, it's home in Cancer, which is kind of cool. Alyssa, thank you for the $14.99. My boyfriend and I broke up around the new moon, and I'm praying he wants me back on the full moon coming. I'm Capricorn. He's Pisces. I hope he'll give me another chance. Oh, Alyssa, I'm sorry. I know that that's really hard. Eclipses tend to do that. Eclipses tend to bring on breakups and endings in like an abrupt way, and sometimes an unexpected way. Sometimes I don't know your situation. Sometimes it is for our betterment, though. I'm not saying that your case is that, but sometimes things happen for a reason. Sometimes it's just a period to reflect on some things and to heal from some things and to grow from it. If you guys get back together and it's awesome and you guys are happy, then that would be amazing. And if it doesn't happen and you just heal from it and you grow from it, that's also really good too. But I know that that's really hard. I know it's really hard, especially with this eclipse. It's very emotional, but I wish you the best of luck in that. So speaking of emotions, this full moon is in Cancer. Cancer is known to be an emotional sign. It's also known to be a very motherly sign. It's known to be a very intuitive sign. That's also around a lot of domestic matters in the home. So not just your family, but also people you live with are at play during this time. Now, with full moons and new moons, it's always important to set an intention with your manifestations. When you set your intentions for new moons and full moons, you want to take into account where it's falling in your house. Okay. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys for super chats. One tail bees, Thai water baby. Can you share information about synchronicities, especially when seeing birthday over and over, seeing it right now? Oh, I'll just mention that in a second. That's a quick answer. Renee, thank you for the 19.99. Thank you for all you do for this very tired Virgo. Just want sleep and retreat. Well, I hope you get some good sleep. There's a lot of fatigue energy coming in with the full moon, so I hope you guys sleep. Yeah, for birthday synchronicities, you're just on the right track. I've mentioned this before when it comes to synchronicities. If you see one specific number over and over, then I encourage you to look up that number and that specific vibration. But if you're seeing your birthday, it just means that you're on your path and you're aligned, right? It also can indicate that your guides are trying to get your attention, but it's generally just that. It's generally just that. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. So when you're setting your intentions for the new moons and full moons, you want to check where it falls in your house, okay? So this full moon is 20 degrees Cancer. So you just got to pull up your chart and you just got to see literally where it falls. So it's usually in ranges. So for example, I have my chart up here just to give you guys an example. So for example, okay. So my third house starts at Leo 21 degrees. So for those who are new at reading charts, when you pull it up online, it has like the house number, the sign, and a degree placement. That's when your house starts, okay? And then my fourth house is Virgo 20 degrees. So if there was something happening in Virgo 5 degrees, it technically would be my third house because my fourth house starts at the 20 degree mark for Virgo. Does that make sense? So just check where 20 degrees Cancer falls in your house, and you want to apply your intention accordingly. And your intention should be around Cancerian energy and things you want to close out, okay? Things you want to be done with, right? Around and things you want new to come in, things that you want a redo in, things you want a new beginning in, or even breakthroughs that you want to happen. So that can be around your intuition, that could be around your home environment, that could be around your family, that could even be around how you handle emotions. So you have a lot of ways to really work with this energy and any energy moving forward when you have a new moon, full moon cycle, now that you know that information. I just realized the screen's kind of dark. Hold on, it's really bothering me. Let me put some light on. It was totally fine before. Oh, that's bright. Okay. Oh, that's good. I like it. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yo, JD, thank you so much. I don't know what currency that is. W. I don't know what currency that is. I probably sound so ignorant. Thank you for the 11-111. I don't know how this full moon's going to affect. Don't worry, we're going to get into all of it. We're into all of it. So guys, I want to focus, but I'm getting distracted by the super chats. If you send me a super chat, thank you so much. But I do want to get through this a little bit. We're already like almost 15 minutes in and I've barely gotten started. So set your intentions accordingly. So with this full moon eclipse, the thing that we're all going to be feeling is domestic issues will be highlighted. Again, that could be family, or that could just be the people you live with, or things going on in your home. Information is going to come to light that was previously hidden. That usually happens with full moons, but also it's home in Cancer. Cancer is very intuitive. That's only going to be amplifying new information that's coming to light that you weren't privy to before. Massive intuition spikes plus emotional sensitivity is going to be happening, but that will lead to breakthroughs in emotional issues, okay? So it's positive. It's a little emotional, it's a little rough, but it's very positive. Anima, thank you for the $5. Getting a reading from Lacey because my body is reacting to trauma. Oh no! Oh, Anima, I'm sorry. I've been there. I've been there. It is not fun. I hope it goes well. I hope it goes well. So that's just like really quick summary, really quick gist of full moon Cancer energy to be aware of. Now, the aspects that are happening for my newbies, like I said, aspects during new moons and full moons get locked in with this energy. You can sum it up to this is what we're experiencing in totality when you include the aspects. And like I said, the post shadow is for 6 months for an eclipse. So keep that in mind as we talk about this. Now, the main big thing that's I'll admit it's kind of scary for this full moon period is we have a lot of oppositions going on. Oppositions as far, sorry, I'm like I'm teaching a class right now. Oppositions as far as planetary aspects are concerned. people say they're negative. It's not necessarily negative. It's like a tug of war. It's a tug of war energy. And it's really beneficial for bringing things up to light that need to be worked out. Okay. Some people think they're scary, and I'm not going to lie. It's a little rough. I'm basically calling it the Capricorn pressure cooker is what I'm calling it. So we have the moon in Cancer, which is opposing all the Capricorn energies. Is that a dog or a cat? Oh, it's Clyde. Oh my God, I got a lot of new people. Like, is that a dog or a cat? That's Clyde. That's Clyde. He's doing good. He's trying to sleep, but he's just resting. I can tell he's not asleep. We got a lot of Capricorn stuff. So this moon is opposing all this Capricorn stuff. The sun, Mercury, Saturn, Pluto, and the South Node. Jupiter is also in Capricorn. But all of these guys are true conjunctions. They're basically close in degree range. Jupiter's kind of far out there. Jupiter's in early degrees. All of these guys are in like later degrees. Okay. Actually, maybe I'm gonna draw so you guys can get an idea of what I mean by like it's kind of a lot. I can't draw a perfect circle, but I'm gonna try. All right. Guess I don't have to do all 12. Oh no, did I not draw this correctly? Oh well. My drawing skills are not like on point right now. I'm just gonna do a really quick gist of this. And 6. Okay. So we'll do Cap and Cancer. We've got the moon, and we have Sun, Mercury, Saturn. Oh, the sign for Pluto is complicated. I won't write that down. We also have the South Node. And then we'll put Jupiter over here since it's early degrees. So we basically have the moon over here sitting in the house of Cancer. And then we have the house of Capricorn. Look how full that is. We've got the sun, we've got Mercury, we've got Saturn, we've got Pluto, we've got the South Node, and I just put Jupiter over here to indicate early degrees. And then we have the other couple planets placed around, like Venus and Mars, and Neptune and Uranus. That's a lot. Okay, that's a lot. No, come back. Please come back to clarity. It'll go back to normal in a minute. Anyway, guys, it's a lot of opposing energy. It's a lot. Okay, it is creating quite a pressure cooker of emotional turmoil, tyrannical behavior, and bullying that's essentially leading to a complete reconstruction in our lives on an individual level, specifically where Cancer and Capricorn fall in our houses. And we are going to see that on the societal stage play out for the rest of the year, especially the first 6 months. And it will continue for the next few years since Pluto's going to be in Capricorn until like 2024 or something like that. Oh, come on, camera. Come on. Now, because all of these planets, see, there we go. Now, because all of these planets are in conjunction with each other, the sun, Mercury, Saturn, Pluto, and the South Node, and then of course Jupiter playing like a little supporting role, they're all supporting each other in like, I don't know how to say it, Capricorn camaraderie, right? Opposing Cancer. It's almost like masculine versus feminine energy. And like I've said before, we are in a period of death energy for the masculine energies at play in our life and within ourselves on a collective space. Okay. Now, because there's so much, I just wrote out a list of what to expect with these instead of like, oh, the moon opposing Mercury does this and the moon opposing Saturn does this, because that would just take too much time and it would be a little repetitive. So I just wrote out a list. So we're going to go down the list of what to expect with these aspects. Now, the one on your left hand, the one on my left hand. Wait, what about my left hand? Sorry, I missed that. So I'm just going to go down the list. Now, again, I don't want you guys to get stuck in the whole, oh no, this is going to be awful. This is going to be scary. I don't want you to get stuck in that. I want you to look at this as a time to reconstruct ourselves, right? As a time to really allow ourselves to get broken down and allow ourselves to go through this change and allow ourselves to have a rebirthing process, okay? It's a really healthy way to look at it instead of getting stuck on, oh, this is going to be really hard and awful. Charmin, thank you for the 555. Capricorn Sun, Cancer Moon, Stellium, and Scorpio. Ah, a Stellium Scorpio. I never come across Stellium Scorpios. And Sag, Pisces, North Node. How bad will it be this time? See, that's the thing. I don't want you guys to look at it as bad. Did I miss one? Oh, no, Renee, I did address you. I don't want you guys to look at it as bad because it's really allowing not just for us to go through a really important change within ourselves to grow and get better and have what we want to have in our lives, but it's also happening on a societal level. It's literally representing the fall of the patriarchy, even within ourselves, right? And that's something we all want, right? Okay. So that being said, let's go down the list. Samantha, thank you for the $9.99. Oh, that's a really generous one. Thank you for the $9.99. Irrational over emotional thoughts, charged or cold communication, insecurities will be brought up, especially if you suffer with social anxiety or authoritative issues, or personal space. Personal space is also going to be an issue at this time. There's going to be an urge to indulge in your vices, especially if you have any vices as a coping mechanism for like emotional coping, leading to some self-destructive behavior. Keep yourselves in check. If this is something you've been working on, like, trying to think of a good example, emotional eating is an example of that, or excessive drinking is an example of that. If you have been trying to work on that, you will be challenged at this time, but it's also a good time to have that lesson cemented that you don't need to have that kind of behavior anymore. TJ, thank you for the $2. Blessing, sister, just for reciprocity. Oh, thank you. So just be aware of that you're going to want to indulge a lot. Okay. Especially if you are feeling the more down emotions versus the tyrannical emotions. Feelings of burden by family, whether there's actually a burden or not, because that's Cancer fighting Capricorn, right? Masculine versus like the feminine, the patriarchal versus like, matriarchal, literally, right? Excuse me. And especially if you already have family issues that exist, this is going to be really highlighted. Inner emotional turmoil, there's going to be mood swings. Some of us are going to be switching in and out of this tyrannical energy versus like very emotional, very sensitive energy. Uncontrolled, unchecked behavior and communication. Hopelessness, fear, depression. There's going to be a lot of fatigue. I know I've been feeling that. A lot of fatigue. There's going to be some anxiety, some despair. Then Pluto, right? Pluto and Capricorn is going to be throwing some stuff in the mix. So there's going to be jealousy. There's going to be obsession, guilt, shame, entitlement, vindictive thinking or behavior, and feelings of aloofness. Okay. So some people will appear like they care too much, or that they're too sensitive or too timid or martyrs or victims. Others are going to be very cold, very ruthless, very heartless, very domineering, and kind of like that image of victimizer, right? And some of us are going to be jumping in and out of the two via mood swings, okay? So everyone is essentially going to have this pressure placed on them in some way to be broken down, okay? That's the pressure cooker. That's the whole point of it. And this is also a perfect time to do some very deep shadow work. I promise I'm coming out that video in the next couple of days. The piece of equipment I wanted to use for that video is now delayed. So I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. An overhaul of what you want progress in. Okay. So it's all positive. And, honestly, like death and transformation is not always quiet, right? It's basically a massive transformation and transmutation of energy. That's a show. Okay, that always creates a little bit of a show. That is not a quiet process, even if it's just internal or if it's with other people. Okay, but just know that people around you are going to be experiencing this, and not just yourself. But again, check your houses. For those who are going to be feeling these emotions and shit on a personal level, check to where 20 to we'll say 25, like 20 to 25 degrees Capricorn falls in your houses. That's the house that you're most likely going to be experiencing a lot of this energy in. And then 20 degrees Cancer is what you want to set your intentions for, okay, for this full moon. There's another aspect I want to talk about, but before I talk about that, because it's actually it feels like it's changing themes, I want to talk about Uranus. So for just momentarily. Oh, Patty, thank you for the $1.99. Thanks for helping us ease our heart and mental pain. Oh, of course. Honestly, guys, no one likes to be upset. No one likes to be in turmoil. So I'm glad I can help you guys out. I'm glad I can help. It makes me realize that my job is very someone correct me on that. My vocation, not my job, has a lot of meaning to it, So Uranus is going stationary direct on the same day. That's right, the same day, just to make it fun. Uranus has been retrograding in Taurus, okay? And as that's been happening, well, let me talk about retrograding planets. Tony, thank you for the $19.99. This Aries loves you. Thank you. Love you too. That's very cute. That was very cute. It was very sweet. When planets retrograde, it's retracting energy. It's slowing things down, and sometimes that can feel like delays. Like when we talk about Mercury retrograde, we always talk about like miscommunications and stuff getting messed up. So anytime a planet retrogrades, it's retracting energy. It's kind of like pulling it back. Retrogrades are a time for reflection. It's a time to take a pause in something and reflect on it. So while Uranus has been retrograding in Taurus, that's been a time to reflect on innovations, technological advancements, higher consciousness, things of that nature. But also, because it is in Taurus, which is an earth sign and also a sign of foundations, like Capricorn. We've been seeing a lot of political rebellion and little peaks of that. We've been seeing a lot of tension build up in politics and the patriarchy. Now that energy is going stationary direct, and we're going to be feeling a slingshot effect of that kind of energy. So we're going to see peaks in political and foundational turmoil. I don't know another way to say that. Let's see, what does Brooke say? Thank you all for showing yourselves and being badasses for all current energies. We see and love you all. Y'all are strong. Oh, Brooke, that's awesome. No, it is. It's true. It's true. Like these are not energies for little kids. These are not like, these are intense energies. Kitsu, thank you for the 1111. Lately, my emotions have been flipped upside down. Watching you has helped me understand it. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, and that's also the point of my new series, hopefully to bring you guys more understanding. And for those who are wondering why I pulled away from the tarot card readings, because I know I got a lot of newbies that are wondering why I'm not doing that anymore, it was creating codependency, and I don't want to enable that. That is something a lot of us have hacked. I know some of my new waivers are still working through that, and that's cool. We've all had to work through it at some point in time, and I don't want to enable that anymore. There's so much more people can do when they're not being enabled in some way like that. Okay. And I'm not saying every tarot reader does that. I'm just saying I noticed it with my subscribers, and I don't want to be a part of that. Okay. All right. So where was I? Oh yeah, Uranus. So political and foundational turmoil, rebellion peaking. Okay. And it's also not surprising given what has been going on in the recent days. I won't get into that because I know sometimes people get really triggered by politics, and this isn't a political channel by any means. There's also going to be natural disaster energy at play. So as you guys know, we've had some interesting earthquakes and whatnot and volcanic activity this year. That's Uranus and Taurus at work as well. Audrey, thank you for the $10. Thank you, WaterBaby. I know everyone asks, I'm a Cappy, December 22nd. Will a relationship come this year? I would actually look at your houses for that answer. If you like, not even like straight up, I can't really do intuitive right now because I'm actually being bombarded by everyone who's watching me. I can't give an intuitive answer. Honestly, like innately, I want to say no, if I'm being completely honest. But like I said, I don't feel comfortable giving an intuitive answer, but innately, I actually want to say no. But there's nothing wrong with that. 2020 is a big time to really focus on ourselves and building our stability on a personal level and everything that we can also do for the collective. That's the big part of 2020 is creating stability, not just for ourselves, but for others. I actually feel like 2020 is not going to be very focused on romance. Like, I think it's gonna be more about innovation, but I would actually check your houses. A good way to check if you're gonna have opportunities in relationships is basically just to follow the planets and what they're transiting and how they're transiting your houses. So for example, Jupiter is in Capricorn right now. Jupiter is expanding Capricorn. It's gifting Capricorn. So if you have Capricorn ruling your 7th house, you'll probably have opportunities in relationships because it's expanding that. You know what I mean? But like that's a good way of looking at it. But I usually don't answer questions for money. I just want to like really reiterate that though. But if you want to look at a tangible way, you want a tangible way of trying to identify that, I would look to astrology and look at your houses and what's aspecting what to see what's really going to be affecting your life in the next coming year. Okay. Where was I? Oh yes, natural disasters at play. So you guys know that there's been some earthquake and volcanic activity going on this past year because Uranus has been retrograding in Taurus, especially in summer, right? When it went retrograde into Taurus. And I'm not predicting anything. I'm just saying it's at play as we see a transit going into stationary direct and then eventually full on direct. Cranky Frankie. That's a cute username. Cranky Frankie. Love you, WaterBaby. You're the best. Oh, thank you. I love that username, though. That actually really made me laugh. There is something else going on that not a lot of people are talking about. and damn it, I really want to do a video on this, but I don't want to dominate this video on this information, so I'm just going to go over it very briefly. So for anybody who follows Schumann's resonance and the magnetic fields of the Earth, there's been some crazy shit that happened a couple days ago, okay? Schumann's resonance is basically just the vibration of the Earth, monitoring the actual vibration of the Earth in a tangible way, okay? Just putting a number on it. And usually on baselines, I think it's 7 baseline, 7.43, I think. I could be wrong about that. So it's interesting because these are two very different things as far as looking at the magnetic field and looking at Schumann's resonance. Schumann's resonance, the last couple of days has really spiked heavily into like the 14s, I think even like the 20s at some point, you know, back and forth. It's, you know, waves, right? Now, a video, I was guided to a video I would never typically watch, but the nerd in me couldn't help it. It's basically a guy who monitors the magnetic field of the Earth. So I was watching his video and I almost full on freaked out. So the magnetic field of the Earth, we actually have 2 poles technically. We have the actual geographic poles, north and south, right? And for those who are not aware or just are not sure, magnetic fields are attached to the poles. You have if you imagine the pole like north and south, the magnetic fields, it radiate out this way. Okay, if you were to like make the lines out of them. We actually have a magnetic north and south pole versus the geographic, right? So we already know that the poles have been moving. Like they move all the time. Magnetic field is literally just energy. It's never technically stationary. But we've been noticing last few years that the North Pole's been moving, okay? Closer and closer south. It's actually been hanging out over Canada for a while now, and it's been gaining speed in the last like 2 years, essentially. Now it's heading towards the northwest part of the United States. Anyway, so that's just a little factoid. So I'm watching this video, and he's watching the magnetic fields and all the solar radiation and solar flares that Earth is getting from the sun. Very typical because of the tilt of the Earth that we're getting bombarded more so in the northern hemisphere than the southern hemisphere. That's fairly normal. And the magnetic field protects us from solar radiation and space radiation and all of that. So I'm watching this, and he's explaining that the thing that he witnessed was just unbelievable and just should not happen. It looked like for a moment that everything was normal, and like everything flipped for like a hot second. And when it flipped, it created a crack in the magnetic field. Like there was a hole for like a good couple hours, I think. And the poles flipped. In my opinion, the poles flipped. He didn't say that, but but that's what it looked like to me, just based off what I know, just about about Earth magnetic fields and how that shit works. Because that's exactly what it looked like. It looked like all of a sudden, all the radiation that was getting bombarded in the northern hemisphere just flipped over, and there was a big giant hole in the middle. And I was like, holy shit. And then when the reports came out for the Schumann's resonance, it basically matched the timeline of that when the radiation skyrocketed, which would only make sense because then that part of the magnetic field that was open, oh, it's funny, now my camera's slowing down, that radiation would have been hitting us, right? Hold on. Oh, no, I don't know how to say your username. Nini Williams, thank you for the 199. Prana is the real magnetically love field. That was cute. I gotta remember the name of this guy's channel, because like I said, I was guided to watch it. Literally, like it's something I would never really watch, because as you guys know, for my channel, I don't watch anything that's outside of tarot and spirituality, because I don't like to be bombarded by stuff outside the community. So when stuff like that comes up on my feed, I basically just like share it to myself and then watch it in a different screen outside of my account, so it doesn't affect the algorithm. And that's when I know my guides are guiding me to stuff. Oh, yes, that's it. It was Wages World. Lauren, thank you for the 499. Thank you so much for this. What if 20 degrees Cancer is right on the border of 2 houses, 8th and 10th? 8th and 10th? Why does that not add up to me? If you could put like the degree ranges and signs, like for where your 8th, 9th, and 10th start, I can give you a better answer on that. Anyway, so he was just discerning that there was a hole in the magnetic field. It was very obvious to me that the poles had flipped. Like it was so clear. And he pulled up another chart where basically I really hope I'm not like giving too much like technological terms here, where they vectorize the magnetic fields, okay? Like the movements of the magnetic field. So when I say vectorize, they basically just quantify the energy movement, and it looks like a thread. So that's what I mean by vectorizing it. They should all be connected at all times because it's a field, and they were not because there was a giant hole in the middle. But if you looked at the north and south poles, like the vectors representing that, they were not only flailing around because they were all disconnected when they shouldn't have been, they actually were like heading in the opposite direction. Like the flailing ends were trying to head in the other directions. And I was like, oh, that's totally flipping poles. Like that's the only thing that makes sense. That's the only thing that makes sense. And like the poles have flipped before in Earth's history. Like this is actually a natural phenomenon for poles to flip. It just doesn't happen often. And it never happens momentarily like that. So this is an event that never technically should have happened. But I say this all the time, guys, when I talk about information and all this kind of stuff, that just because we think something shouldn't happen doesn't mean it's not possible, because there's a lot we do not know. There's a lot we don't know about how the universe works or doesn't work, and we're getting new information all the time. It shouldn't have been doing that momentarily, but like flipping poles is an actual phenomenon that the Earth has experienced many times over. Sam Stewart, thank you for the $2.99. Cap Sun, Cancer Moon, praying eclipse brings change. Oh, it's gonna bring change. It's bringing a lot of change. Moonlight, thank you for the $1.49. You always clarify the messages I get. I love you. Oh, thanks, Protected. Lauren, oh my God, I should have said 8th and 9th. Oh, I was like, wait, I don't understand. Okay. If it's right on the border, honestly, it could affect both. It could affect both. And that's another thing to note, that as a planet is transiting a house. So for example, you said was it your 20 degrees Cancer or Capricorn? Sorry, going back and forth on topics. Oh, you said Cancer. Oh, as the moon transits out of Cancer, you're going to feel it more in your 9th house. So I would just focus it on your 9th house more than your 8th house, just because the movement of the moon is going forward anyway, if that's a better, clear answer. Oh, that's right. I was talking about flipping of the poles. Yeah, so flipping of the poles is a very natural thing. Like at one point in time, the Earth had like, I don't know, 6 or 8 poles. Like if you go way, way back. There's different theories with the flipping of the poles and like events that are associated with it. Scientists like to correlate flipping of the poles with like with mass extinctions and stuff. Again, not trying to scare you. It's just information that is out there. I'm just really indicating that there's a lot changing with Gaia and the energy of Gaia. And if the magnetic field is getting messed with, plate tectonics are going to be affected, just matter of fact, okay? So I'm relating that back to Uranus. I know, I go on a lot of tangents. I'm sorry, I'm ADD, just is what it is. So relating that back to Uranus, earthquakes are highly likely, okay? Just based off that fact that the magnetic field is doing funky things, it will affect the tectonic plates, okay? Specifically, like, because Uranus is going direct on the 10th, I would say it's more highly likely for a couple days after. So from the 10th to the 12th is what I would say. Anyway, so again, let's get off the flipping poles topic. I just had to be a nerd and share it with you, because it's like I was so falling down that rabbit hole. I had to know as much as possible with that. But like I said, no one is saying that the poles flipped. To me, in my interpretation, that's exactly what it looked like. It didn't look like anything else could be possible outside of that. So moving on. Where were we? Okay, so we talked about Uranus. Okay, so the ray of hope. The ray of hope with this eclipse. We do have one positive aspect. Now, I'm not going to lie, it's kind of weak compared to the oppositions that we're having in Capricorn, but Neptune is trine with the moon. Trine's a positive aspect, a very positive aspect, and Neptune's in Pisces, okay? This is bringing in a lot of emotional support and hope for the changes that we're going to be experiencing for the upcoming months, specifically from this full moon. We're going to see breakthrough in family issues via compassion and understanding. There's going to be increase in dream activity and intuition, especially in relating to domestic matters. So a lot of intuitive hits with domestic matters, but also you might even see your own family members come online, which is really exciting, and being very accepting of spirituality and intuition in the esoteric as well. Tea time. Let's see. Thank you for the 1111. Cancer Sun and Cancer 2nd house, 26 degrees. What does that mean? Oh, well, if your 2nd house starts at 26, it means the full moon is more so affecting your 1st house. But for your houses, I would actually, remember, that's to set your intention. That's to set your intention. So treat it like you're a Cancer rising, even if you're most likely a Gemini rising. That's how I would treat it. Okay, for this full moon, as far as setting your intention. But as far as feeling the impacts, of this, I would look at your Capricorn placements because the opposition of the moon is with Capricorn. So I look at Capricorn 20 degrees in your houses. Daphne, thank you for the $4.99. How do you know what degrees your houses are? If you just look up your chart, it'll tell you. Like, it'll tell you. It'll give you the house number, the sign, and the degrees. That degree placement is when your house starts there, okay? You just explained everything to me. Thank you. No problem, Anubis, no problem. So that Neptune trine the moon is really positive, and that's going to bring a little ray of hope during all of this, okay? So essentially that's everything happening on the full moon, the day of the full moon aspect wise to be aware of. But I do have a couple dates. I do have a couple dates that I think are going to be really, really awesome for you guys. The first couple of days I want to talk about, January 13th and the 16th, okay? This is actually bringing in a lot more positive energy, a lot more love, a lot more compassion and understanding. So on the 13th, we have Venus going into Pisces. That's going to bring even more compassion to relationships, especially those that suffered from the ruthlessness of Capricorn and this Capricorn pressure cooker. So this is days after the full moon, okay? We also have, thing with Pisces though, especially with Venus and Pisces, please be mindful not to get taken advantage of by anybody. Okay. Please be mindful not to get too fantastical with anybody. Just stay rooted in reality as you guys work through your stuff. Okay. With people. Then we have on the 16th, we have Mercury going into Aquarius. This is good energy because typically with Aquarian energy, it's thinking outside the box. It's higher consciousness. It's the rebellious energy. It's very innovative, right? And it's in Mercury, communication and thinking. So with this full moon, as we're breaking down to be reborn and going into the new, we actually have a placement that's going to help us do that. It's a placement that allows for breakthroughs and epiphanies to fuel these new beginnings and changes that we're hungry and motivated to make, especially with this next date that I want to talk about, which is actually a really important day. Tetzo, thank you for the $2. 222. We love you, Water Baby. Aries, love lost. Oh, thank you, Tetzo. So let's talk about January 12th. January 12th is a really, really important day. I've talked about this in other videos too. It's a day where Saturn goes exact conjunction with Pluto, and then again Jupiter playing a supportive player in Capricorn on this day. Now, it's important for two really big reasons. I'm basically calling it the day of reconstruction and reckoning. That's what I'm calling it. I didn't know what else to call it. Some people are calling it Judgment Day. The reckoning part's basically Judgment Day. Obsidian Rain, thank you for the $4.99. Ninth house, Cap, Neptune. Any insight, synchronicities have been crazy lately with reconnecting with counterpart 2. I'm loving the education. Well, I'm glad you guys are enjoying it because I can just go on and on and on and on and on with information. I just can't help myself, apparently. Ninth house, Cap. Hold on a second. Excuse me. I would actually just focus on your higher consciousness with those placements. I would focus on your expansion. I would focus on your intuition. I would, especially if you're reconnecting with a counterpart, I would really focus on that. That's going to help you in your growth the most because it's your ninth house. That's a house of spirituality and knowledge and philosophy. So I would focus on that. Excuse me. So let's talk about this day. It's really exciting. And for some of you, you're going to find it scary, but it's not scary. So there's 3 planets that play on this day. So we have Saturn and Pluto in exact conjunction with each other. Like a lot of astrologers have been waiting for this day for like almost a year, to be honest with you. What are the 2 dates? Okay, so January 13th, Venus goes into Pisces, more compassion, an understanding to heal. January 16th, Mercury goes into Aquarius, that's the word, almost like Capricorn, into Aquarius, and that's allowing for us to have breakthroughs and epiphanies on getting onto our new path and what our new beginnings are going to look like. Now, these 2 dates are coming after the 12th. This is going to be a crazy week, guys. This is going to be a crazy week of energy, and it's just going to help us bring things to fruition for the coming months, okay? Now, I'm talking about January 12th right now. So let's just talk about the planets to understand this energy a little bit better. So Saturn's in Capricorn. That's hard work. That's discipline. That's goal orientation, right? That's getting shit done and knowing what you want and being focused on it. Pluto in Capricorn is like taking out the trash, right? It's removing blockages. It's bringing shit to light. It's destruction. It's destruction of things that don't serve you. It's destruction of things that are unnecessary, right? And then Jupiter, that's playing a little bit of like a supporting role, is blessings, to bring things to light, to expand and to grow and to basically get to where it is you want to be. Jupiter's a gifting planet. It's the planet of fortune. It's the planet of luck. Okay. So all of these planets at play with Saturn exact conjunct, which means it's really, really strong, with Pluto, is the perfect time to have some reconstruction energy, to have some redos, to get your goals in place, to get the new shit you want in your life, and to manifest it. It's a really important day to manifest, okay? Even if you've already been working on stuff. Neen the Meme, thank you for $4.99. I love the little emojis that come up on here. Hold on. Oh, man. Okay. So it's really important to manifest on this day, even if you've already been working on this stuff, even if you've already been coming up with a plan of action. A lot of people are going to have redos with this energy, like a total tear down of something you put effort into, or a total tear down of yourself, and then putting a plan into place and being very diligent in getting to your success and getting to your goal. And all these planets can really help you get there and make it happen. So please manifest on this day. Please meditate on this day. Please treat it like it's a day to use to your benefit. Okay? Positive stuff. Now, the other reason it's a day of reckoning. Pluto destroys, it dismantles, it breaks shit down. Saturn's also home in Capricorn, and they're exact conjunct with each other. Okay? This is all about the patriarchy as well. This is all about the tearing down of that. That's a peak energy for that to happen as well. So peaking of patriarchy demise, that's going to continue and to see manifestations in the coming years, mostly in 2020. It's also going to usher in an explosive political period where there's going to be more revealed to the public, because that's what Pluto does. It also reveals things that have been hidden, right? There's going to be further push on economic fallout as well from this, because it's so much push and pressure on dismantling the patriarchy, which is innately attached to the economy. So that's also alluding to the recession that I've talked about that should be coming. I still feel like it's going to happen like February, March. I've actually was talking to someone who feels like it's already going on. They're just not announcing it, which actually I think that they might be right, that it's already kind of occurring, but no one's saying it yet. Because like once it's said, then that's when, you know, stuff really, you really see stuff happen tangibly, right? And I feel like the government just isn't ready for that yet, and bigwigs aren't ready for that yet. Hi, Priestess, thank you for the 499. My birthday is on January 10th. I'm looking to advertise my business publicly on social media. Can you recommend a day to do this? Oh. Honestly, any of these days would be good. I would probably do it on the 12th. I would honestly probably do it on the 12th. Let's see. Anna, thanks for the $5. I don't have any Capricorn placements, but my North Node is opposing all the... what does that mean for me? It's honestly the same effect as the full moon, because the full moon's opposing all of, because the full moon is opposing all those Capricorn placements, and Capricorn is the South Node, which would be your natural opposing from your North Node. So it would be the same effect with all this full moon energy. It would just be a little amplified for you. But essentially, this day is important because it's a day to rebuild your stability, rebuild yourself, rebuild your life, rebuild anything that you want to be rebuilt in a new way that wasn't working before, or something totally new that you've always dreamed of doing. It's a time to do that, but it's also a time to do that while the patriarchy loses stability. So build your stability while the patriarchy loses their stability, essentially. Really, really important day. And I'm not saying that on this day, all your dreams are going to come true. I'm not saying that. Or on this day, the government's going to fall apart. I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's a peak energy, and we're going to see that energy really play out in the coming months as far as doing all of that and bringing that into our 3D reality is what I'm talking about. Okay? So that's everything. I know it's a lot. I know it's a lot. And I went up on that tangent of the flipping of the poles, but I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. Like, even when I found out, I was like texting my family. I was like, I can't believe this is happening. Is that your cat? Yeah, that's Clyde. That's Clyde. But yeah, so full moon. Oh, when is this? Full moon's on the 10th. It's on the 10th. I said it in the very beginning of the video, so you can just go back to it. I think I said in the first few minutes. Let's see, but she said no to relationships. Really? it's a year of innovation. I mean, you do what you want. I'm not saying you have to do this or you have to do that. I'm just telling you the energies at play and what I think is most likely going to be playing out. I really feel like 2020 is going to be a year of innovation and focus on dismantling the patriarchy to build a new one, or to build a new way of being and to build a new society and get that ball rolling. But a lot of people I know, I want to feel relationship. I do need to do some videos that are for new waivers versus people who've been around for a while. Guys, I understand. I get it. I get it. We all really like relationships, and we've all been in that energy of wanting relationships and wanting to be with someone, but it's not what life's about. They're nice and they serve a purpose. Relationships serve a purpose. So we learn some things and we grow and we learn a lot about ourselves. That's the point of relationships in life, but that's not what life's about, you know? Let's see, gonna make a WaterBaby sim. I'm not gonna lie, I love that game. I was obsessed with that game from the moment it came out when I was a kid, and it's so addictive. It's not even funny. I think when I got it for Christmas, and it was like I could actually have it myself because I used to play on my friends' computers before I actually had my own. I think I literally played for like 36 hours straight, and I didn't even realize it. And I was like, oh, like it's a whole other day. I was like, I didn't even realize it. Let's see. Sorry, Zambu. All right. Anyway, let's see. Relationships are overrated right now at this moment. To be continued for me. Yeah, guys, this is a time to focus on you. This is a time to focus on you. Oh, and by the way, newbies, I don't put up with a lot. I'll be honest with you, because I know I got a lot of new people. I don't put up with a lot of stuff on my channel. If I address you, if I address it, or if I feel like you're being really inappropriate, or if I feel like you're being over the line, I don't do timeouts on my chats. I don't. I'm sorry. That's just how I am. Okay. But just so my newbies know, I know I'm very sweet. I am, but don't let that deceive you. Okay. I'm not going to keep putting you on timeout. I'm not going to I'm not going to be gentle about it either. You truly are a Scorpio. I am. I love all of you guys. I really do. I don't have time for that kind of energy. I just don't. And when people are bringing that kind of energy to a channel, it affects the whole channel. And I just don't have time for it. That's all. I just don't have time for it. Let's see. These new people. New waivers are welcome. New waivers are always welcome, you guys. And I know there's a lot of learning. There's a lot of healing that's got to take place. All I ask for is respect. That's all. Just ask for some respect. What's timeout? Oh, you literally, that's Kendra. You literally time them out like for a few seconds or whatever it is, and then they come back. And I'm like, well, what's the point of timing out, right? Let's see. We've been long overdue for the polls to flip. It actually is supposed to happen. No need to freak out. Yeah, exactly. Like we are actually really overdue. I think it's like there's usually happen on average like every 300,000 years. The last one was like over 700,000 years ago. At least last I checked on the numbers or their estimates. So we are really overdue. I love your readings. They're always so spot on. Thank goodness didn't miss it. Respect, Clyde. Let's see. No relationship. I'm pushing an expiration date as it is. It's now or never. I like that. I'm pushing expiration dating. Why do I feel the urge to be in a relationship? It's annoying. Oh, Stona, it's okay. Look, we all deal with that energy. Even if we feel like we've handled that stuff within us, sometimes it still comes up, and this full moon will bring that stuff up if we haven't fully dealt with it. It's okay, Stona. It's a totally normal, natural thing. Cancer, shadowy Cancer energy can be very codependent. So codependence is also going to be highlighted during this full moon. So that's also a little bit of that at play. But don't beat yourself up over it. We're all human. We're all human at the end of the day. Tea time. Thank you for the 555. I've been waiting. I've been waiting. I've been with you for a year now, and I love the new changes. Oh, thank you, Tea time. I'm so excited for this new series. I wish I could talk about it more, but I can't. Excuse me. Very close being able to talk about it. Very close. Just a few days. Let's see. That is one beautiful Clyde. He's pretty cute. I'm not gonna lie, he's pretty cute. Sometimes I just sit and stare at him because he's so pretty. Let's see. We're growing. I can't wait for your shadow video. I want to see Clyde's face. Oh, I could pick him up. I don't know if he'll care for that, but I'll pick him up. Clyde, come here. See if I can just get him to come to me so I don't have to disturb him too much. Clyde. Let's see. Oh, I don't know how to say that username. Gioi? Bella? Thanks for the $5. Soul Sister Water Babe help. I'm a Scorpio rising, Moon in Libra, Sun Cancer. Oh. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be fine. I think Scorpios are feeling this energy quite a bit. I think the last Scorpio reading I did, I picked up on that a little bit, where it's like, you guys are masters of death. You're masters of transformation, okay? And Pluto's really doing a lot of shit to all this Capricorn energy. So Scorpios will innately feel that charge of energy that way. But I think you're going to be fine. You're going to be okay. We're all going to be okay. We're all going to be okay. It's all for our betterment. It's all for our betterment. Been sleepy too, so relaxed lately. Yeah, a lot of fatigue. Let's see. Daughter of Scorpio, and she's on fire. A lot of dreaming and visiting places I am unfamiliar with. Oh, Natasha, that's so cool. I love when that happens. And like I said, dream activity is going to be amped up. Try to keep a dream journal. If your dreams are changing a lot, definitely keep a dream journal. Let's see. Has a Saturn return. Ooh. Oh, I need to do a video. Hold on. I really need to do a video on Saturn returns. It's actually really important. Saturn. So many notes everywhere. It's not even funny. Do I have to pay to watch the Patreon readings? Hi, Cinderella. Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, I have patrons who pay. So I do have them listed on Vimeo, like for single purchase, if you don't want to buy a membership, but you just want to watch like one sign. So you can rent or purchase it from Vimeo if you don't want to sign up for Patreon. But I do put the monthlies up on there. I was considering putting the full moon, new moon spreads on there, but I set the intention for my patrons, so I don't think I will. But yeah, guys, Patreon also went through a lot of changes, and those changes are finalized and cemented. So check out Patreon. It has changed a lot. If you checked it out months ago, it's very different. Let's see what else is going on here. Do a sim stream water. Thank you for the Sagittarius reading. It happened. Thank you. Oh, it did. Oh, man. Good. Been having a ton of health problems. Oh, no. Since December, hopefully they go away soon. Oh, yeah, guys. If you ever have, like, random health problems all of a sudden, check your 6th house. Check what's going through your 6th house. For example, my 6th house got hit really hard. So when you guys saw that post of, like, I've been battling an infection and then I was, like, at the hospital and urgent care and all that, yeah. Saturn and all that were going through my 6th house at the time when it all started. Like, that is health. That is all health. So yeah, if you have like onset, all of a sudden like health is like a problem and you're not really sure why and you're trying really hard to battle it, check your houses. You might be really surprised. Thank you for your time and information. You're appreciated. Oh, thank you guys. Let's see. Any suggestions for light workers recognizing their gifts? Oh, lucky ladybird. God, recognizing their gifts. I feel like every light worker goes through phases of that constantly. Hold on, I'll get back to it in a second. Tetso, thanks for the the $22.99. The next week want more and I'm not ready. So on my way to return her belonging and watch, and I keep saying it's in car's place. One more. If you're seeing that many synchronicities after the fact, then you're doing the right thing. But going back to your other question, I just saw it. Where'd it go? Oh, yeah. Suggestions for light workers recognizing their abilities. I feel like every light worker goes through many, many phases of that because as we keep ascending, more and more abilities come online. Okay. The important thing is to trust it, like, and spend time to really understand them. Like, I think that's the biggest thing is like making it a point to understand them, how to use them, being grounded with it, like, and trusting your abilities. That's the quickest way to understanding them is by trusting them. If you fight it, if you resist because it's overwhelming or it's hard, it's only going to be harder. Like, surrendering to it is the quickest way to being comfortable with it. But some abilities that come on can be really upsetting. Like, I remember one of my abilities that came on like actually in the last year, and I shut it off really quick because I found it to be that upsetting. So that's another thing. If you have like a very upsetting reaction to one of your abilities coming online, sometimes you can shut it down. And I shut this one down and it hasn't, well, it's come back in spurts, but like it hasn't come back in full swing where I started hearing people's thoughts. And I don't like instantly, I'll never forget it. I was getting coffee and it was like really crowded that morning and I'm standing in line. There were like at least 8 people in line. And I would look at someone and all of a sudden I could hear exactly what they were thinking. And it became so overwhelming that it was just like, oh, I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. It's like, I don't even know what's in people's heads. But it comes back a little bit, like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Talking to your guides and also talking to other light workers is always a good idea. Just be very cautious when you talk to people in the community. Not everybody has good intentions, and it's important to be mindful of that. I'm not saying don't trust anybody. I'm just saying be cautious. Just be cautious. Don't share everything up front. Just be cautious. But it does help to talk to other people who have abilities too. King B, thanks for the $2.99. Totally excited for the shadow work video. It's going to be a good one. I think everyone kind of needs it right now. Let's see. I've been burned by people with gifts that belittle my developing abilities as though I'm not at their level. Oh yeah, that can happen. That can definitely happen. And also, guys, like I said, some people just, talk to your pets. That is a good one. Allie, I love you. That is a good one. I talk to Clyde all the time. All the time. It's not even funny. And actually, speaking of cats, and I talked to Allie about this at some point. No, I already did. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Cats are really good if you have abilities. Like if you have abilities or you're getting more and more abilities and it's becoming overwhelming, try to get a cat. I know that's a big commitment. If you can't, that's cool. But cats are very psychic and they're also very healing, okay? And they actually are really good at helping to ground energy. So if I have a chakra that's going crazy or really out of whack, Clyde will actually come and sit on that part of my body and it'll help me get more aligned and also helps me ground energy. He meditates with me all the time. All the time. But yeah, cats are really, really great if you have abilities, or especially if you're becoming so ascended that you're having a lot of attacks and things like that. They're also really good at protecting your space energetically and psychically. And if you don't want to get a full-on cat, you can always get totems. Let's see. My cat found me. Oh, I love that. That's so cute. My cat found me. I feel like I wrote other messages I wanted to see, but that's so weird. I can't see them. Let's see. Podcast recommendations. Oh, Soberish. That's the only podcast I listen to, if I'm being honest. I'm not a big podcast person. I think they're really awesome. And Jessa Reed's podcast, Soberish, is amazing. She also has them on YouTube now, if you don't want to go out and find it. So go ahead and check her out. She's amazing. I love her to death. And as you guys know, I've done a couple episodes on her podcast. I try to get into podcasts more. I think it's just because I'm so busy. Honestly, I think that's the only reason. I'm just very, very busy. And I've tried listening to them in the car. And apparently I'm too ADD to do that because then I forget that I'm driving. So I'm not a good candidate for podcasts, but that's a really good podcast to check out. She's amazing. I love her energy. I know. I love her too. She's awesome. She's a cool person. I hope that's why my cat has been licking my third eye chakra the past few days. Oh, that's so cute. Honestly, probably. If he's just been focused like right there, probably. Let's see. My face has been swelling a lot the past 2 weeks. Any insights? Ooh. On that note, so you guys know I went to the doctor, right, for a bunch of stuff. Come to find out that some of those health issues were ascension symptoms that I'm not used to having. It's really important that even if you suspect something is spiritual, but it's, a physical symptom, that you do get checked out just to rule stuff out. Because even if it starts as a symptom, it can actually affect your body in a physical way that you may need medical attention for, okay? Especially if you're resisting a lot of things or you're not purging a lot of things or you're not addressing a lot of things, okay? I am not a doctor. I have to say that because it's a YouTube video. I'm talking about health and stuff. I am not a medical doctor. And I definitely encourage you that if you are having some kind of physical ailment like swelling of the face, that you at least get checked out by a physician just to make sure that you're okay. And if they don't find anything wrong with you, but you're still having the symptom, it's most likely spiritual stuff. Kathy, thank you for the 222. Cats are good barometers. Dana, thanks for the 279. What about progressing moon in Cancer? When you say progressing moon, do you mean just like as the moon's transiting? I just want to make sure I'm clear on what you're asking me. What was I saying? Sorry, a lot of stuff. Physical ailments. Like, for example, my first, like when I first woke up, like had my spiritual awakening, that actually happened in 2012. And oh my God, like I had such intense symptoms and I had this headache that went on for months, like blinding, right? Of course, at the time, I didn't know what it was. I just thought something was wrong with me. And it got to the point where I was like, crap, this is going on for too long. I got to do something about this. And I went to the ER. They ran all these crazy tests on me, including like a spinal tap and all that. It was really horrible. And then they're just were like, well, we don't know what's wrong. I was like, oh my God, I just spent like all this time in the ER getting tested and nothing's wrong with me. They were just symptoms, but I didn't know that at the time. But it is important to get checked out because you never know. You know, what if something's happening and you're like, oh no, it's just ascension symptoms, but there's actually something wrong, you know? So it's really important to just take note of that. Let's see. They communicate with me in visions, but I have not tuned into responding back. I find them when in distress or describe on the visions they send me. Oh, you're talking about your guides, Tony? Let's see. Speaking of Jessa, she was in my dream last night at a bookstore to start up for our beautiful Earth. Wait, oh, did I just skip? Wait, hold on a second. Sorry, the chat's moving so fast. I smushed like two messages together. Oops, I'm sorry, guys. You know, I think my eyes are getting tired, and I've been on for over an hour, so I should probably go. Let's see. How can I leave my steady and stable job in that is full of negativity, afraid of making a change, but so much negative energy flinging? Oh, Christina, I'm so sorry. Yeah, if you're in a hostile work environment like that, I know it can be hard, especially because you want to find a job and you want to make sure you're financially stable and everything. But it's really important to address it. If it's that negative and you're that upset about it, or it's that disruptive to you, it's not healthy to be in. And I can say from personal experience, like I had to make a hard decision like that a few years ago, whereas like I was in a job, I was good at my job, but it was a hostile work environment. And I had so much anxiety going to work every day that it's like I was very unhealthy. I even had a panic attack a couple of times, like at work. Didn't realize it at the time, thought I was dying. And after the fact, I realized it, but it was a very negative environment. And I had to take that plunge into leaving. I left and just went to school. Like that was a really hard choice for me, especially because it's like I wasn't having an income, right? But it's important you do it. Like, oh my God, I'll never forget the relief I had when I walked out the door for the last time. It was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna have any anxiety anymore. You know, your healthcare is your healthcare is priceless. It is. Your health is so priceless. Like honestly, if you don't have your health, what do you really have? Right? If you don't have your health, you can't really enjoy the fruits of your labor. Right? You can't really enjoy your relationships. You can't really enjoy life if you don't have your health. Your health should be priority. It really should be. In all aspects of health, your mental, your physical, your spiritual health, your mental health. Health I meant. Oh, it's okay, Archangel. I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant. Feel like crying every day. Wow, so amazing of you. Yeah, Christina, honestly, if it's that tough, like I really recommend like just trying to leave or trying to keep finding jobs. And I know it's hard to find work when you have a job, even though that's like the most ideal thing to do, right? I know it's hard, but it's really important to do that just for your mental health. Really, really important. You don't want to be having panic attacks in the office like I was. Like you don't want to be putting yourself in that position. Let's see. How to leave my job too, and I'm going back to school. Oh, congratulations, Crystal. Congratulations. Let's see. Exactly. Health is everything on every level. Yeah. So Christina, deep down, you already know you need to. And I know it's hard, but this energy will help you do that. This energy will help you do that. Manifest on the 12th for a new job. Manifest it. Okay, Wiley, manifest a new job. Exactly. Use the energy of the 12th to manifest a new job and everything you want that job to be and what you want it to do for you. Really important. What you want it to do for you. Be realistic. When we do manifestations, it's important to not be too specific and detailed, because at the end of the day, Spirit's only going to give you what's in your best interest, right? And sometimes if we want something, it doesn't mean it's in our best interest, you know? So just be mindful of that when you're manifesting. But yeah, manifest a new job on the 12th. Why not? But yeah, guys, I've been on for over an hour. I should go. I'm very tired. And I've done a lot today. Most of the stuff I've been working on is setting up all the new stuff this week. But yeah, it's a crazy week of energy. All the stuff happened today with Jupiter and the South Node. The 10th, we have the full moon and Uranus going direct. 12th, day of reckoning and reconstruction. Then the 13th, Venus goes into Pisces. Then on the 16th, Mercury goes into Aquarius. it's going to be an insane week of energy. Just take it day by day. And if stuff comes up emotionally, address it. Do not bottle it. Don't push it down. If you want to cry, then cry and figure out why you're crying. Okay? Address it. Don't bottle it up because it's going to be very emotional for a lot of people. Okay? Okay, I'm going to go now. Thank you for my moderators who came out and showed support. And thank you guys all for joining in, of course, and coming out and hanging out with all of us. And this was a fun one. This was a fun one. And thank you for everybody for the super chats as well. I'll be seeing you guys soon. Okay? Have a good night. You guys got this. You're fine. You're fine. If people are assholes, let them keep being assholes and don't let it affect you. All right? Have a good night, guys. Namaste.